Welcome to episode 83 of The Endless Stream. I'm Aidan, and as usual, I'm joined by Brian and Kevin. We are three artists, illustrators, filmmakers, and all-round shit talkers, and each week we take some of the endless stream of content brought to you through Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube, Spotify, Disney+. Wherever you get your content, we take a chunk of it, and we watch it and talk about it. This week we watched House of the Dragon, we watched She-Hulk, we watched The Bear, we watched horror movie stuff. We're coming into Halloween, so we're trying to get spooky. We talk about Terrence Howard and his world. All this and more on The Endless Stream. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to the podcast, heading over to Apple, rating and reviewing, like and subscribing. All these good things really help us out. Please do tell a friend about The Endless Stream. On top of that, you can head over to Instagram at The Endless Cast, where we put up pictures and clips of the episode, and that's a good place to engage with us over there. So you can suggest something for us to watch. You can disagree with us. You can like, you can comment, you can tell us what you're thinking. If you're a little more old school, you can send us an email as well at theendlesscast@gmail.com. All of that being said, let's get into the episode. You're going to shave your beard down into a gringo-style stubble?
Yeah. Just, I'm going to have like a dense 5 o'clock shadow and just a mustache.
Why for?
Yeah, why not?
Fair enough. Plug. This week, Friday the 28th of October, the Bag of Cats comedy show is taking place at Dublin Inc. We have sold about 34 out of 40 tickets on Eventbrite. I'm going to do another little push today. I'll give you the link as well. You can push it. There will be standing room. Show up, come along, see a great show. There will be prizes. Kevin, you and I need to have a chat about what the prizes are so that we can arrange.
All the prizes should be face tattoos.
Yeah, right.
I just decided.
We've got a section that's like raffle, but I want to know what we're raffling, and we can allot a certain amount of time to that. It's going to be face tattoos. Yeah. We have stuff as well, so we were planning on doing that, so we're not relying on you having a shit ton of stuff, you know, but it's just as you mentioned it, let's factor
Dublin
it in.
Inc. will be giving away a full day of tattooing for the best costume.
Does it have to be on the face?
Holy moly.
Full day of face tattoo.
Yes. Full day on the face. Yes. So you'll get a sizable piece, you know. You get like basically like we are just want to make these things popular for everybody and successful for everybody and ourselves, you know. So like, you know, these things are great, and if we can encourage like a bit of, you know, giving back and all that jazz, why not, you know?
Puka Tattoo in association with Dublin Inc. is offering a day's tattooing.
And then we're going to give away maybe like, you know, €150 voucher or €50 vouchers or something, just a few bob off. And we have t-shirts and stuff.
Like, okay, that's a hell of a prize. So can I say that?
Yes, yeah.
Can I promote that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to promote that as the prize, and then say, but we've got a section after the break that is like the prize giving thing. So am I giving out 3 things? Am I giving out whatever? Are we doing spot prizes throughout the night? Like, I want to plan that out a bit. And I got a nice new little piece of art to promote it. I want to get that up before this week. I've done it kind of generic, but now I'm like, I might put some bat wings on it and make it Halloween themed, make it kind of orange and green. I like drawing.
You should have become a tattoo artist.
How do I do that now? Can I change? How do I can I pivot?
You can pivot, yeah.
Can I be successful with like, can I get them like transfers? Still be respected.
Yeah.
Or if you don't really care about tattoos, just get a rake of tattoos.
Oh, see, I don't
Just
want
look the
to
part.
rake the tattoos. I don't want to look the part. I just want to do the
Do
job.
you
Can I not
want
just be a
to-
technician?
Aiden, you could...
Do you want to draw and talk
Aiden,
shit?
you could literally get...
Like-
Nowadays, you could literally just get like the bare level tattoos and look like a tattoo artist.
Okay.
You can get just a few bits and pieces, get one little thing in your hand, boom, done.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I just
Teardrop
get like
below your eye
a
on the
tattoo that
cheek.
says I don't have a lot of tattoos, but I'm really good at tattooing, and then I have to get really good at tattooing.
Potentially. Could work. I've not seen it done.
You've not seen
I've
it done?
not seen it done.
Okay.
But don't get involved in my industry.
It's just drawing and talking shit, right?
It's his industry now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get involved in it. You're not welcome.
Oh wow, that
That would make me want to get more involved, if anything.
Okay, let's talk about that, because I think that's where Kevin was going anyway. Is Boris Johnson coming back?
What's that about? How's that possible? And then
No, I'm not. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Why?
Absolutely not. No.
It's
And
the
then
world.
and then the
How
other
is
guy.
this not a,
It-
how is this not
it's
fodder
it's
for conversation?
it's bullshit. It's a fucking farce. It doesn't matter. There is a bill they're trying to pass over there
Yeah.
that if anybody has protested in the last 5 years, they'll make you submit to a tracking device. No one's talking about that.
What's that?
It doesn't fucking matter if it's Truss or Johnson. It's a joke. I'm not talking about it.
Tories out.
Everybody has mentioned, everybody has said it to me at some point. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a fuck? There is
Aidan, I'm
so
scared.
much bigger stuff
I know.
going on.
Well, what's the
in
bill?
country.
Tell me about
I'm
the
not
bill.
talking about this. That's all I know about it because nobody's fucking talking about it. But it's part of the same protest ban that they've introduced months ago, and people have talked about it. They're essentially making protesting illegal, and now they're trying to introduce this additional part to it that if anybody has protested in the last 5 years, they will make you submit to wearing a tracking device if you have been involved in a protest or organized other people to get involved in a protest. Who gives a fuck if it's Truss or Johnson? It's a joke. It doesn't matter. It's on the news. The only people who talk about this are people with car radios. People who listen to car
I can't
radios.
even drive.
Yeah,
I just kind
yeah,
I can't drive.
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Welcome
talking
to
about
this
this.
week's
Not
segment
going
of Brian shuts down conversation in an aggressive fashion. That
I'm not
cows
shutting
Aidan
down
and Kevin
conversation.
and
It's not even a conversation.
It's-
not
it
even a
isn't now.
conversation.
I don't even own a radio.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah, Kevin, it seems like the party can just sort of vote him back in, and because it's not a general election, it's not the public, and the general election will be in a year or two, and they don't want to force that to happen ahead of time. They want to stay in power, even if they're a fucking zombie government for a couple of years. And Boris is, of course, happy to be that asterisk, that footnote, that history thing, and abuse his power while he's there for a couple of years, all the while distracting the public from the real goings-on of government, like protest bans going on. It's a
He
fucking
never
sham.
went away.
It's a fucking farce. He never went away. No, it actually seems
He never
very
went
much like a
away.
plan.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Speaking in other news,
The next word out of your mouth better not be.
Kevin Spacey's innocent.
Go
No, he's
on.
not.
He was found innocent.
Anthony Rapp lost his lawsuit.
Yeah, which is terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 5 of House of Cards coming?
No.
Will we be watching
No.
it?
No.
I know we all know you'd still watch it, but most of us just want no further part.
I wouldn't. I was a bit disappointed that I didn't watch House of Cards first because I heard it's very good. But I just
It's good to a point. It got pretty samey by the end of the second season, I would say. It started off very strongly. It was Fincher directing. Did he direct every episode of the first season, or was it just the pilot?
I don't know.
Anyway, Fincher's
I feel like
style
he's
kind of
just the pilot.
informed. Yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway, it started off great, and then it got pretty samey, to be honest.
I think you could watch it, Kevin, if you want to. I mean, he's just playing a monster.
Yeah, fucking watch it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I probably.
I think
won't,
I
to
think
be
the
honest.
first
I have
episode he
a
just
list.
kills an animal in the street, right?
He ends its suffering.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he kills an animal. Yeah,
Oh no! I didn't.
yeah. He I mean, both. He seems like a person who goes out of his way to end animal suffering, though.
Oh, on multiple occasions.
No, I mean it seems like he's that type of person.
Okay.
Do you know what, Kevin? I actually haven't watched more than 3 episodes of it. Let's watch season 1 and reconvene, okay?
I think we could actually. Speaking of watching things,
Go
my
on.
brother Benny did suggest that we should watch a movie, and I
Shout out to
guess
Benny.
pardon, shout out to Benny. I have a few shout outs actually this week. To be fair, shout out to Jack Wallace, my cousin Jack Wallace, who pretty much I have to I know exactly what he's talking about, and he's probably 100% right. But that he was saying the David Harbour movie Violent Night
Oh, yeah.
is very similar to the movie the fake movie kind of thing in Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Oh, is there a faked movie where an action
Yes.
Santa does shit? Cool.
Pretty sure, yeah. He was
I'm
saying
fine.
that, yes. Yeah. He was saying it's almost identical. But and then shout out to Mark Lynch, whose wedding I attended to last week, and Mark listens to the podcast, which is really awesome. Mark's a top bloke and an excellent musician.
Congratulations, Mark.
And Mark got married to the lovely Catherine Lynch, I guess now, or maybe more. I don't know if she's keeping her full name. Maybe I should stop talking about people's surnames on the podcast. But Mark listens, which is really, really fucking awesome. And we love Mark. Mark, you're great. Mark is also big into nerdy stuff, so maybe sometime you can get him on.
Shout outs to Jack, Benny, and Mark. And congratulations
And
to Mark
Catherine.
and Catherine.
And Catherine, yes. Yes. So shout out to all the guys. But what was I saying before that? Yes, Benny suggested we watch a movie. It looks awful. Brian's definitely not going to watch it. I'll watch it in the sense of, good spirits.
What's the movie?
You're saying I'm not a good spirit.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You know what you are.
No.
Brian, you know what you are. Check that out.
I'm
It's
the kindest spirit here.
It's
How
called
dare you?
Headless Horseman: A Dark Hero is Born, and it's about
I hate it.
It's like about a biker guy. It's like about a biker guy who has a pumpkin for a head. It looks insanely cheap, and yes,
Dark Hero. This does sort of. It sounds like it falls into the like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer
oh, it's way worse than that. Like,
category. Am I the only person that thought that movie should have been a trilogy? Anyway,
well, wasn't that Arnie Hammer?
Headless Horseman: A Dark Hero is Born. Where can I see this?
I sent you a clip of the trailer, or I sent you the trailer. Benny sent us in. He did request us watch it, so I'm just saying.
Okie dokie.
Well, then I'll watch it
Oh.
because I'm a good spirit.
Okay, well that's good. I know how to manipulate Brian. That's good to know.
No, you don't.
Question his capacity to be a good sport or not. But yes, there you go. We'll watch that, Benny. Seeing as you recommended it. Anybody else has any Halloween recommendations? Send them on into us. I often when I can't sleep read a Instagram page called Dark Reddit or something, where they ask people like their scariest experiences or their the time they saw like Bigfoot or something. Different things. There's a whole manner of like the scariest babysitter experience or this or that. There's loads of different themes. And maybe for our spooky episode next week, I might read out some and get your feedback.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, true. And we should probably watch something scary for next week as well. The Black Phone's a thing. I've not watched it. It's on. Actually, to be honest, you know what? You ever go onto YouTube and stuff and you look at movies to rent sometimes? I do, because sometimes, whatever. But they're like 20 quid to rent a movie.
Wow.
Is that theatrical release equivalent? Is that what they're trying to do there?
Nah, because they come out in the cinema. Like they're out a while and then like
That's definitely not to buy.
that's not to buy, it's
to
to rent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like.
Fuck. Yeah, because I've rented and I've bought stuff, but I've never paid more than like a €5 for a rental.
Yeah, same. It's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they're like relatively new movies. Because I know Nope is on there as well. Well, yeah, they can be a little bit expensive.
Yeah. Rent is €18, or Nope is €18 to rent.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, bit nuts.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's
They're
a little bit nuts.
They're
Wait.
trying to
Get out of here.
Get
trying to
out of
get the
here.
sort of cinema ticket value out of it. You've got 4 people sitting around watching it.
Yeah, but I wonder how much stuff is to rent on PlayStation.
I have one word for that.
BitTorrent.
No.
Okay.
No,
Puh.
you're right, Brian. He did it. It was one word, but he said it in 2 drawn out syllables, which made it sound like kind of 2 words, but it's one. Trust me.
That's how I get him.
That's how he gets them. But yes, that's all. No, I reckon we could watch The Black Phone, Ethan Hawke.
I want to watch Terrifier 2
Okay.
because it's making people vomit and faint at the cinema, and I think Aiden would be the first to vomit faint.
Yes.
And we should record it.
Yes.
We should record it on Skype.
I've not watched the first one, so I should watch the first one.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
No.
Nah. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
I sent you the trailer.
Yes, I know. Yeah, but I won't watch trailers,
I did,
Brian. I'm
yeah.
afraid of spoilers. Not spoilers, but you know.
Exclusively in theaters.
Oh, it's not coming out over here actually,
Oh,
but it will be available to buy. I think next weekend actually. So maybe we could emotionally scar Aiden.
emotional damage.
I watched Clerks 3 this week.
Where did you watch that?
Shut up. Somebody told me it was absolutely dog shit. Somebody said that they literally had the opportunity to go down the road and see Kevin Smith presenting it, but he had watched some of it and was like, I like Kevin Smith, I'd like to go and see it, but it's so rough. I don't know if I can sit through the film to see Kevin Smith. I see exactly what they're talking about, and I think if I had sat down to watch it properly, I probably would have turned off, but like most of his recent stuff, I just put it on while I'm doing something else, and I'm kind of just, it's fine, it's nice, I enjoyed it. I've got a nostalgic or kind of sentimental association with these characters in this world.
I was just gonna say I like Kevin Smith, but sometimes I don't know why. Dogma is probably my favorite of his things, and Guardian Devil that he wrote.
He peaked. You know, he did his thing, and then he kind of peaked. I actually think Zack and Miri Make a Porno is a decent comedy. Like, it's fun, and it's outside of
Kevin
his.
Smith, though.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah,
Did he,
that was his first foray out of the View Askew, Jay and Silent Bob stuff.
Oh, I didn't realize that
I thought it was
Kevin
a
Smith.
good. No, it might have been his second. He did Cop Out with Bruce Willis, and then he did that. And his thought on that was he was making a movie about people working a retail job, making a movie, and he felt he was eating his own tail. I think he was, you know, showing that he had the skills of a functional jobbing director, and it worked, and he could have just done more movies and grown out of that. Clerks 3 is definitely eating his own tail. It's pure nostalgia and self-indulgence. I don't hate that because I have an association with Kevin for 20 flipping years at this point, listening to podcasts and stuff. Like, I like the guy. By the time I got to the end of it, it worked for me. It's pure, like, he's just going to watch this sitting in his living room crying over and over again, because it's just it's almost autobiography, you know what I mean? Like, I had fun with it, is basically what I'm saying. By no means a great film, arguably not a good film. The dialogue thing, the characters are the characters they were in 1991. They're saying the same shit, and I listened to those podcasts with the people that he based them on. Like, I think Dante's based on himself, and Randall is based on Brian Johnson, the guy that used to work in the video store with him. And I listened to those podcasts, and they're saying the same shit. Like, this is who these people would be now. It's accurate. It's the same conversations they're still having to this day. It's just tired as a film. I don't know what that results in as a conclusion for you here. He's made an accurate film of what these people would be like in their 50s. Same idiots. Do you want to pay money to go and see it? Probably not. I have a sentimental attachment to the world. I had fun. Anyone, any other thoughts on Kevin Smith's filmmaking?
Is it two ends of like the video clerk spectrum with Smith and Tarantino?
How do you mean?
Like, both
What are the ends?
are they both the product of the same thing, and do they both make, like, one makes kind of really personal films and the other makes films that are, you know, just a pastiche of everything that they've consumed and filtered. And they both have like very distinct dialogue, you know, very very particular kind of rhythm and everything.
Yeah, that's
Are they
another way
they
of
two
looking at it.
opposite ends of, you know, two film nerds?
Yeah,
Except, you know, one, like I said, one makes stuff that is solely concerned with being cool,
Yeah. And
and the other is making very small personal films. And that's not that isn't a judgment of which is better or what. It's just an observation of
yeah.
got these two film nerds.
Yeah, and you and I have had conversations about like how I feel about Quentin Tarantino. I don't generally enjoy his films because I get annoyed by the pastiche. I get annoyed that the world treats him like a genius when he's just taking things from other places. And I don't know if that's fair, because I feel like he does say where he's taking influence from, but I think it's just the hype around him annoys me.
I guess so. I guess like, to be fair, sorry, just to interrupt you because you're wrong. And I guess to be fair, like everybody can take inspiration from everywhere, but how they interpret it is different. And his interpretation obviously resonates with a bunch of humans.
Don't argue with any of that. People love Tarantino movies. I got exhausted by Kill Bill. Inglourious Bastards I was enjoying up until he inserts himself in it. Same thing with Django. I enjoyed Django much more than Inglourious Bastards. So I think he can create nice worlds. I get distracted by his filmmaking, if that makes any sense. When he would just sit in the world, I enjoy it. But once he's like, and here's a cutaway, and here's an insert, and here's an infomercial style explanation of something, and now here's the director playing a small role, and like, I don't need text on screen in the middle of it because you remember movies having intermissions. Just let me be in the world. Every time I'm starting to vibe with a Tarantino movie, he does something that brings me out of it, which was Inglourious Bastards.
My problem isn't even like I think he's a great copyist, and I have no problem with that, because I think that is to be able to kind of absorb and distill something down, and to know it's so inside out, to be able to kind of
nuance it enough.
And just to so perfectly kind of ape something. I think I don't have a problem with that. I just don't think a lot of his stuff is as good as people insisted.
See, I don't have a problem with this stuff. It's only when I feel like I'm watching Tarantino do his best Tarantino that it gets a little bit like laboursome. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just like I feel like I'm just watching Tarantino trying to do his best Tarantino tropes. It's like it's like okay, you can copy and stuff is whatever. It's fine to a degree, but it's like now I just feel like he's also trying to kind of copy himself and capture that lightning in the bottle that he did before. But it's like it can be self-indulgent. It's like kind of like Thor: Love and Thunder. Too much of a good thing. It's just the bad.
It is funny because what you say there is interesting, because while you talk about Kevin Smith making personal films and Tarantino distilling what he's absorbed into the cool end of things, in theory I want to like Kevin Smith's films all the more because of that, but they're so stupid sometimes. They're so fucking stupid. Like, this is his world. This is his life. That's his daughter on screen. That's his wife on screen. But it's a like proscenium style sketch. Like, it's hard to feel like you're watching a movie sometimes. I don't know. If you're a Smith completist, like, I check out Clerks 3.
Favorite.
Like Ben Affleck shows up, and like they just have like they audition for the movie they're making, and there's a nice bit that, like, when you finally see the movie edited together, they show you footage of Clerks rather than, them now, which is nice. I don't know how much, like, are you guys worried about spoilers on Clerks 3?
I'll watch it. Brian doesn't care for spoilers. I'll take my headphones, and then you can give me a thumbs up and I can come back in.
It'll only be a second.
Yes.
So the whole premise is based off of Smith having a heart attack. He gives his Randall character a heart attack. He then is spurred to make a movie. And the two boys fight and fight and fight as they always do, and Dante has a heart attack. And Randall is confronted with his selfishness and shows him the edit of the film that flags Dante as the star of the whole story, and it's a nice emotional reconciliation. But when he goes to show him the movie in his hospital bed, it cuts to inside a cinema, and he's dressed and he's watching it, and he's dead, basically, from that point on. And it's... it's that was effective. That worked for me. That absolutely, like, I was just like, oh, that's so nice and sweet. And Halloran is a little outclassed by Rosario Dawson. Every time he has to have a big emotional moment, it's like, whoa, buddy, you are trying. But, like, you know, again, I love you, but I think Clerks are the only movies he does. I don't see him much. But like that, like, I was like, this is a goofy, stupid fucking film. And then it kind of got to that end and I'm like, oh, it works for me. Like, I like these characters enough, and he ends up killing off Dante, and yeah, I felt it, because it just kind of closed the loop.
How long is it?
I'd say barely 90 minutes.
Okay.
That's what he makes, you know.
Okay.
I'd have to double check in the cinema.
So I was saying, like, that if that moment arrives in time, it could really save a film. But if it takes too long to build to that moment, then he might lose the audience before they get there, you know?
I'm just going to bring Kevin back.
Cool.
Is he reading the thumbs up?
I'm back.
I know what you're saying. It's the arc of the movie, the plot of the movie is fine. It's just the little things that he thinks are funny, the sketches, the like little sequence where two people talk and riff, and it's like, this isn't funny. Like, you're giggling on set shooting it, but it's not working for me.
Yeah.
You know?
It doesn't work for me when Woody Allen did it, you know? So...
What did you watch this week, Kevin?
This week, Aidan, I watched. I started watching Under the Banner of Heaven, which I was enjoying, and then forgot I was watching it, and then didn't continue watching it this week. So I must go back to that. That was enjoyable.
That's is that a movie or a documentary? And it's about religious jib jab.
It's neither, actually. It's neither. Aidan. It's a limited series, yes, based on true crime events, where a Mormon detective is investigating a Mormon murder, and it's good.
Cool.
Yes, I've not finished it, but it's been highly recommended, so I gotta watch it. But no, this week I guess I can't remember what I watched on Sunday, because I feel like I was at my folks' at the weekend, because I was at, like I said, a wedding in Athlone. But I did, we came back up early enough on Sunday, but I can't remember exactly what I watched. But I did watch The Mole, which is a Netflix TV game show where you say you have like 12 contestants and one of them is a mole. And although 11 of the contestants' objective is to put as much money in the kitty as possible, and outlast everybody else to the end, where they'll win the cash prize. All the while, there's a mole in the group who can't get eliminated. Nobody knows who they are, and who has to try and sabotage the group as it goes along. And
do we know who the mole is as a viewer, or
No.
are we as in the dark as the rest of the crew?
You're also in the dark. It's good though. I have to say, the person who played the mole, because I don't want to give it away, and I think people should watch it. Well, watch it. It's a bit of fun maybe if people want. It's easy TV, you know. But all I would say is the person who was the mole did really well, because there was a stage at it where I had like, say, both Emer and I were just like, it's definitely one of these three, because these three are definitely not the mole. You know, that kind of way. So the person played it very, very, very well. Very, very well. You know, it got a little bit obvious towards the end that they were potentially the mole, but of course it did. The numbers were whittled down so much, their actions became more, obvious and delirious. Yeah, exactly. But you know, good fun TV show. Nothing particularly mad. Like I like, you know, I won't be kind of like dying to be watching season 2 or anything. But yeah, it's great. Good show.
There was a moment like that. I guess it falls into not necessarily wanting to watch a whole series of it, but I'm watching Taskmaster, the new season, and there's, you know, they had a task to do, and it was team of 2, a team of 3, and they broke it into 2 separate chunks, and the goal is to get sand into a bucket or sand into a shopping trolley in the space of 5 minutes, and you have to have 2 hands on a set of hips at any given time, and neither team figured out one person could have just stood there with their hands on the hips and let the other one go. People are fools, but they kind of conga lined, and when you're watching it, they take you aside and they show you them for some reason telling the one person on the team of 3 that his goal is to sabotage his team. Now it's a completely sort of asymmetric task at this point. There's just a weird thing happening, but what was so funny about it was once they played that, I laughed so hard because it came back to the room and they're talking about the task, and Dara O'Brien was on that team, and as jolly and jovial as he is, you do get the sense that he's like pretty uptight about doing shit his way and running shit. His reaction was I laughed so hard because he was like, I'm so relieved to see that because I went away thinking you were a fucking idiot. Like, and that was months previously. So I have no doubt that guy was like at fucking meetings with the BBC going, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's hilarious. It's so funny.
It's me putting stuff onto O'Brien to a degree, but just like that guy went away and sat in his car for a minute and thought that. Like he was raging, idiot, you know, quietly keeping his cheeky chappy thing on, but he went and sat in his car and went, I'm going to lose because of that fucking you know.
That's so funny. Yeah, it is.
Because you have to have a competitive streak to be that fucking successful, I guess, in that world.
Sure. Yeah. But you know, and then it's just like it is a game, you know. So why not? But I was going to say there is somebody on the mole who, like, you're kind of convinced is the mole, you know. And then, like, nearly just over halfway during it, I said to Ian, like, I don't think that person's the mole. I think they're just really bad at playing this game, and that's pretty much kind of what they are. They're quite bad at it. There's a way you can kind of purposely make people think you're a mole, and that's to your advantage, because in the show you have to answer questionnaires at the end of each episode. Say, like, if you're a contestant, and you have to guess who the mole is, essentially, and the person who scores the least gets voted off, you know. So if you are making people think you're the mole, those people are going to be answering all those questions pertaining to you, you know, and then guessing that you're the mole. So that means that they will potentially be eliminated, you know. But no, I don't even think that one person was doing this in this. I think they were just playing the game horrendously bad. It was like so bad that other people were like double guessing like themselves because they didn't want to kind of go along with that person because they thought it was a mole. I don't want to give things away, but it was nuts. But
the person who was the mole was like, "Am I the mole?"
This is it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But it was good. It was an alright TV show. I didn't get to watch Bake Off this week though.
It's funny that competitiveness can be a very ugly quality. There is a previous season of Taskmaster where I think Lou Sanders was on the team as well, and like you watch a clip and there's one guy who's just like bossy and telling people to stop and like getting away, and at a certain point
I think you said
see her clip. Just reacting. Yeah, it comes back to the room again, and he's just like, I can't believe I came off like that, you know, like, and it's like, well, you came off like that because that's the way you behaved in the moment. It was not a good look for this guy, you know. He kind of, hopefully he does better.
Yeah, fair. He sent us one of those clips before from Taskmaster, and it was all about like putting weights onto something, or like getting heavy things onto an object, or into a bath. I can't remember, but it was absolute pandemonium.
I
Brian,
enjoy that show a lot.
you watched The Watcher, as did I. What did you think?
What a load of shit. Who gives a fuck about the people and their 3.5 million home? Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
This is true.
Fucking rich cunts.
Well, the problem is, Brian,
Kevin?
they're not rich. They weren't rich. Yes.
You watched The Watcher. What did you think?
I'm not finished. Go on, Kevin.
Thank you, Brian. I found it very entertaining because I heard it was awful. It was a massive waste of time. But like, I was absolutely the first 2 episodes I thought were really good and stuff. Now it does kind of
Episodes? Is this not a movie?
no.
No.
Oh, I'm not watching that.
Seven series episodes.
It's rubbish. It's so fucking rubbish.
Yeah, but then you do get to the end of it, and it's just like, what the fuck?
I thought the ending was kind of interesting in how they wrapped it up. I was familiar with the real
I wasn't.
case because
And I basically-
I had watched BuzzFeed Unsolved. The 2 lads did a good episode covering it, and the whole thing amounts to nothing.
That's frustrating.
The actual case, absolutely nothing. It was either the family or just a fucking crank of a neighbor. That's it. There was no crime more serious than
a few
bunch
letters.
of letters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and they had to fabricate so many events then for
Brian,
the series.
they had to fabricate
And it's
all of it for the series. Like,
yeah, it's and what they come up with is just like it just gets so repetitive. It's like, oh, you're the Watcher. Oh no. And then they confront somebody like at a restaurant or something and they blow up, and then the next episode they're like going back to that person going, so it's not you.
yeah, I
and
know.
we need your
I
help.
know.
And
yeah.
that happens 3 or 4 times, and it's nonsense. But I did like how they wrapped it up at the end. I thought it kind of painted a good picture of how, given that it's unresolved and there's no answer to like what actually took place, it kind of shows how it might have started and how it might have gotten out of control. Because effectively at the end, the husband becomes obsessed with determining who was behind these letters in the first place, to the extent that he becomes a perpetrator and a participant in the thing itself. And it shows how all these other people around the scenario could have been sucked into it. It would have been much more effective as I think from the start it was just a bad idea, because all that happened in the real case was there was 2 or 3 letters. Essentially a family moved into a house, they got a letter saying, oh, I love your house, and they started talking as if the house was some sort of entity, and it was just kind of creepy stuff, but nothing came of it.
So can I just say one thing, Brian?
Very likely that day. Yeah, go ahead.
Just, and I 100% want to go back to what you're saying. Just so I say one thing. So basically, I think the only true part of the actual TV show were the letters themselves, and kind of like parts of the letters were 100% like from actual letters sent to the house, like about the young blood in the walls and all that kind of stuff. But but that's the only kind of like fiction part, or fact part of this TV show. Sorry, so go on. So ultimately, it goes back to you were saying the letters, basically.
Yeah, just I just don't think it was a good premise for a show in the first place. The amount of things that they invent, and the things if you're going to invent characters and events and things like that, then you might as well go fucking all out with it. And instead, they just came up with like real kind of soap opera type stuff.
That's literally what I said to Emer. It's a real soap opera.
It was real soap opera.
Oh my god!
And it's funny because like Naomi Watts and Bobby Cannavale are great actors.
Yes,
and they're both terrible in this.
And Big
they're just...
Big Mo's a great actor as well. I can't think of their name, but they're a phenomenal actor. Big Mo's the neighbor, the lady neighbor. Sorry,
Oh yeah,
she's She's the one who's cutting the irregular. Rocket, as the other fella said. Arugula, yeah. But they're reacting, yeah.
It's either Anne Dowd or the other one that I always mix her up.
It's not Anne Dowd.
It's your one from Justified.
Yes, yeah. And
Margot Martindale.
Season 2 of Justified. Yeah.
What's her name?
There we go.
Yeah, that's who, Margot Martindale. That's what I thought it was.
Martindale.
And she's brilliant. Yeah. And she was so fucking scary in Justified.
She's great. Sissy Spacek's in it. Like it.
Yes, I know. Yeah. But,
or no, sorry, not Sissy Spacek. No,
Farrow?
not Sissy Spacek. Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow's the how would you say the probationist. Isn't she?
Yes. Preservation Society.
Yes, yeah. Couldn't think of it. Mia Farrow. Yeah. Oh God, what was I going to say? And then I don't know if you recognised Jasper. Think of him younger, skinnier with a mustache.
I like all I did was I hovered over the thumbnail on Netflix and like I got very bored. Or no, I didn't get bored. I got frustrated with it because I hate that kind of like that sort of altercation. It's the cutting the arugula thing. I hate that sort of fucking thing. I hate that. Oh, it makes me so tense to begin with. But I will say this: there's a moment where Richard Kind turns and like puts a knife in a fence post, and it's like, ooh, I actually don't think I've seen Richard Kind play a fucking monster before, or a psychopath before, or like a bad guy.
He's brilliant. Yeah.
And I'm like, he actually has a sort of this sort of scale and weight and droop and deadness in his face that could really be menacing. And
yeah, he's great. Yeah,
that was kind of a revelation in a thumbnail hover. But I'm still not going to watch this. I don't like the intense.
I like, in fairness, it was engaging enough for me to kind of, enough was happening constantly for me to keep with it and stuff, but just the payoff wasn't enough. And like at one stage I was like, this is some really elaborate hoax, and why are the actors?
Anybody who might be interested, just go watch the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode instead.
Yeah, it's only 20 minutes long.
Two guys on that they're two funny presenters, and they do a really thorough presentation of the facts of the non-case as it is, you know. Time much better spent watching that, basically.
Very good.
Terry Kinney plays Jasper in it, and he was.
Yeah, I just looked him up. Yeah.
Do you recognize him now? He was in.
I recognize him now. Stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
he's been in.
He's in Oz, and I'm pretty sure he was in season 5 of The Wire, possibly.
He's been in a few things now, to be fair, and but I definitely just remember him like much skinnier and with the mustache, you know, which I'd say is the mustache goatee, but I'd say that's probably Oz, in fairness, back in the day. But yeah, good actor. He was in loads of things.
He wasn't in The Wire. What else do I know him from?
I thought he was in like.
Yeah, I recognize him from Oz for sure.
What is in Boston?
He's the like the prison warden kind of, or whatever.
Is he the prison warden or like a therapist or something there, or like counselor or something?
Like a therapist or something. Like yeah. Can't remember what it's actual.
No, sure, guys. Would have been years since.
What else do I know him from?
I think I ever watched Oz.
Oh, yeah, Oz is good. I'd imagine that's rough going now, though. Bloody hell. It was rough going back then.
It was.
Yeah, I know.
Every time I saw an episode of it, I was like, I can't believe they get away with showing this on television.
Man, like,
it was just
fucking crucifying pedophiles to the
floor
of the basketball
probably
court.
Tame compared to, you know, it's tame by today's standards.
Is it though?
At the time,
Adebisi.
I think it like the stuff that happens in it is awful, but the depiction of it is.
That's where I knew. That's where I knew your man first from. You know the guy,
J.K. Simmons.
Yes, yeah, that's very right.
Yeah, he's terrifying in it.
Yeah.
He's fucking terrifying.
Yes, he plays a Nazi. Oh, he is brutal. Yeah. He's brutal.
He's
savage.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He's terrifying.
And then there's a full.
He's another guy he's so good at being
terrifying.
The kindest, nicest. You know, the most. You know, just like an absolute. You know.
doting, doting
paragon
grandfather
of
or something.
wholesomeness. Yeah. Or he can just be an absolute
Savage.
piece of shit.
Yeah. That was brutal. And then you had the full frontal nudity of the guy from LCU, FCU, SVU.
SVU. Chris Maloney, is it?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
That was a shock as well. And like,
You get to see the long arm of the law.
Fucking the long veiny arm of the law. It is fucking. Here's to you, Chris.
Now, is that real or is that a prosthetic?
It's either all Hollywood
hasn't
actors.
seen it.
Man, all Hollywood actors are gifted with long schlongs. It's science fact.
That's not true.
Man, I've never seen a grower in Hollywood that a lead.
Oh, you mean on screen? Is it?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you know it's real?
That's
Like,
just
they've got
that's
they've very
ILM.
convincing prosthetics. You know?
I would use prosthetics if I had to
Ever
do-
since Star Wars, there's been a lot of
or
visual effects applied to.
body double. But
They can make him look very real.
Oz, check it out, guys. If you have a relaxed Sunday, get your family together. Watch.
Don't
watch
bother
Oz.
with the Watcher.
Yeah,
Watch Oz.
watch Oz.
Yeah.
It's
Watch it with the whole family.
Yeah, watch it with the whole family. It's how would you say? It's a modern telling of the Wizard of Oz, but based in a prison.
Does it have anything?
Enjoy. Yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
that's a great gag in Arrested Development.
Is it a gag?
George
No
Michael
way.
ends up.
No
George
way.
Michael. He ends up watching it because he thinks he's watching the Wizard
Oh
of
my
Oz,
God.
and then he's scarred
That's hilarious.
because
Oh, I watched Hocus Pocus 2.
How is it?
Sorry, that's just reminded me because Buster from Community is in Hocus Pocus 2. I didn't like it.
Tony Hale.
Bette Midler's great.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
I thought I was gonna, not enjoy it, but I thought I was gonna appreciate the
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
effort
Yes.
and getting the gang. Yeah. And I didn't watch all of it. I tuned out somewhere. I can't be sure when. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really cheap.
I don't want to shit in it either. I just very cheap.
Yeah, cheap Halloween movie.
Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like, there's a couple of points where they're doing like a musical number, and it looks like they're filming it off like a stage,
Yes.
a theater, like not a
Yeah.
sound stage, but like it looks like a live.
I know what you're
It
saying.
looks like footage of a live
Theatre performance.
kind of performance
Yes,
in a
yeah.
theater, as opposed to actually like on a sound stage. or
Yes,
something.
yeah,
It's very
yeah.
strange.
It is a strange movie. If anybody has watched like Hoobie Saves Halloween or whatever that one was called,
Hubie
with
Halloween, yeah.
Adam Sandler. It's like, I'm not saying it's probably a better movie than that because Bette Midler and everything is great in it, but it's like it's that kind of budget though. Like it's a made for streaming movie, which is a pity, you know. But yeah, no, it just
I think
it did a
Parker's and Midler's salaries alone are probably the majority of the budget. I'd imagine they ain't cheap.
Yeah, that's
well, Midler, more the power to her. But I think she played a big hand in getting it to come back because she was actually surprised about how much Hocus Pocus, basically like how much Hocus Pocus merchandise,
with people over time.
well, merchandise and stuff that she found online and how it was still popular. It was just like people are still interested in this thing. Let's make another one, you know. But it was too contemporary. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, or like probably a very kind of like throwaway statement. But it's like I just felt like I was just watching something that like.
Yeah, a lot of the jokes were kind of like, oh, what would witches make of, the 21st century? It's
Yeah.
like, they'd be just as surprised by this century as they would have been
The last one.
The early 90s.
last
Yeah,
time they
man,
were
it
here,
annoyed me so
Yeah.
much, you know. I thought the Rambas was a good gag, to be fair, but like,
Yeah.
I was just like, wouldn't they?
Roomba.
They probably Roomba? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Room, like you're in a room.
I'm deaf. Anyways,
You can't read though, right?
huh? Why? How's it spelled?
R-double-O.
Roomba.
Roomba. Okay, well, I don't know if I've seen the word, you know, but I to answer your question,
But you said rhombus,
Yes.
which is a shape.
Ramba. I said Ramba. What is it? Roomba.
Yeah.
Roomba.
Roomba.
DJ Roomba's in the house.
This is the content that people want. But yes, like I would have felt
Or
like
My Fair Ladying you.
they probably I understand that reference. They probably did what they call it. They probably they probably did one gag in the first movie that kind of addressed the whole like they're in a new time, a new century or whatever, or a new period, whatever, you know. So it's just like, why did it just keep on doing it in the actual? They cheaped out a lot, and it's like why bring the main actors back for a cheap crap sequel? You know, the first one was great, and with the zombie guy, the cat, the kids in it, like the Halloween party, all that kind of stuff was great. This was like, and then just giving kids powers in it, you know. Spoilers,
Oh, no,
guys,
really?
just don't watch it. Yeah, it's just not great.
All right.
I mean, it's not really aimed at us as well.
This is true.
If some people want to watch it, maybe they should.
I think
What
it's.
do you mean it's not for the white men in their 30s?
I think
Everything's for us.
I think it's exactly aimed for us to a degree, because we were the kids, not white men in their 30s.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
people that grew up watching it. So,
We were kids when the first
Yeah.
one came out. Sure.
but and I think that's what they missed. Actually, I think they should have done a little bit of a kind of darker tongue, not darker, but like, you know, kind of do it with it in mind that like your audience has now kind of grown up at least 20 years.
Yeah, I think the thought is often though that our audience is showing it to their kids more so than it's for, you know, because we see that in things like Star Wars movies and
True.
stuff. Like if Star Wars was aging with its audience rather than
That's a good point.
rather than just making movies for kids, then we would have seen an Andor a while ago, you know.
Yeah. I've not watched
still
Andor
enjoying
yet.
Andor.
Is it worth watching?
I think it is. Yeah, I
I'd-
really do think it is. I don't know that
get
it's
into
getting any attention. They led with 3 episodes because it's kind of slow at the start, but I love the world building in it. I love the story in it, and I love seeing the subterfuge. And I especially like the idea that I don't know if they said 3 or 4 seasons, but they've defined an arc that brings them up to Rogue One, and I like that they've got a plan. So,
I just wish
You know-
I just wish that we could stop watching like prequels to things, because the stakes aren't as high for me.
yeah, I know. I know what you're saying. Like the thing is, I know everything that's gonna. Well, sorry, I know that
You know
Cassian
everything?
Andor makes it.
I
to
can barely
Rogue One.
read. Oh,
I know that Cassian Andor is going to make it to Rogue One, but I don't know about anyone else. So I'm happy to. Well, I know Mon
Yeah,
Mothma's
like
around.
I know people say that, and if you really can engage with something for that reason, that's fair enough. But I don't know. For me, the point isn't to know like the end point at all times. You
No,
know,
I
there's-
understand that.
There's gaps in stories, and that can be as
yes,
interesting.
of course. You know, it's like you watch a historical thing, like it's happened before. It doesn't mean that it's like, you know, like a Titanic. I know the ship's going to sink. It doesn't stop the movie from being entertaining. But my point is, well, like it depends obviously on the show. But for example, say Gotham. I remember watching season 1 of Gotham and just being like, I can't really get into this. There's no stakes for any of these people, because I know they all, like, say the Penguin and Commissioner Gordon, Batman, Alfred. It's like, you know, like there's too many characters at a young stage in their life that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we could get into Gotham, but like, you know, we never should have seen Bruce Wayne in that beyond the opening episode where we see Jim Gordon maybe deal with the murder, then never see him again. We should not have dealt with Jokers or Penguins or Poison Ivies.
They should have just done Gotham
It should have
SVU.
just been a crime.
It should have just
crime
been,
show in.
but it should have just been Gotham SVU, essentially.
Yeah. Show me the world that is so bad it needs a fucking guy in a bat suit. in 10
Exactly.
years' time. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, fair.
But sure, it is what it is. Like, I literally just saw a clip of Tom Welling talking about making Smallville, and he was saying that he had it in his contract. I mean, I don't. Hollywood storytelling. He was a young guy. I don't know if this was his thought. I don't know how much say he had in contracts. who knows if any of this is true, but he said he had it early in that, like, I'm not wearing the suit, I'm not flying, I'm not being Superman. And still, 5 episodes in, there was a script that involved him putting on the superhero suit. And he had to go and have a cat and go, we're not doing this. This is the whole point. And it's that thing where it's
The
like...
actor said that.
Tom Welling said that I had it in my contract that I would not wear a Superman suit and start being Superman rescuing people. Being Superboy, in essence. Because there was a Superboy show in the 80s.
I know, but like that, I can't.
The point
He
was
didn't
the
have
journey.
that much clout at the time.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, Brian.
No.
Yeah.
statement.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. I was like,
Of course, he can say that now.
Yeah.
You know, with the retrospection.
maybe you could say that now. I don't think.
he was 20.
I know. Yeah,
No, he was
no.
completely unknown. I think he was he was completely unknown. He wasn't making fucking
I
narrative
don't-
decisions.
He was a model.
I don't think
But
Smallville
the
wanted
the
that.
point
even.
remains. Like, the reason I mention it and the reason I asterisked it as I started telling it is, like, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But your point's not bad. That, you know, if it had just become a Superman show, it's not interesting. The
That's
point
not-
is the journey. You
Well,
know? And
I
even still, the stuff that kind of hurt it for me was when it just got it Superman-y. You know, like, I don't... Let him just be strong. I don't need him to have heat vision
Yeah. to be
or
fair.
whatever. Let that shit
Yeah,
come over
the
time, you know?
Smallville concept was a good show, but no, you know, Superman and Lois Lane, great show. Back in the day.
Yeah, it's a little wobbly now, but...
Yeah, but sure, like,
I
you know,
enjoyed it.
everything is, you know. But, yeah. Yeah, anyways. I remember how we got into that. But, yeah.
The
Prequels.
idea of the
States.
understanding where Cassian Andor is going to end up.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, right? I remember watching Rogue One and being presented with Cassian Andor and going, oh, I'm just supposed to like this guy. I'm being annoyed by it. You know, again, just being told this guy's cool, being told in the marketing he's my Han Solo type. I didn't see it when I watched the movie. I was like, I don't really particularly give a shit about Cassian.
Oh, I really liked that movie.
Well, 4 or 5 episodes into Andor, I threw Rogue One on, and I immediately cared a hell of a lot more about our
Okay,
leads
that's interesting, yeah.
and the journey they're on, because I know what it took to get Cassian Andor into the rebellion.
Can I ask how many episodes is it?
I think it's 8, but there's like 6, 7 up on
Okay.
Disney Plus right now.
Okay, I might
And
I
Stellan
might tell Norbert.
Skarsgård's great, and the woman that plays Mon Mothma's pretty good,
Okay.
and Fiona Shaw's in there as well.
What's her name, Aiden?
Genevieve O'Reilly.
I think I'll watch it. I think I'll tell Norbert to watch it. I think I'll tell him. As Aiden pounds another protein juice.
I only know that because I literally listened to our podcast yesterday. Got to get them numbers up.
Oh God. Well, I was going to say to you, I feel like I watched something else this week, but I'm not too. Or you know, no, I think just The Watcher and Hocus Pocus and the movie, whatever. What's the next? We probably mentioned it before. Next TV show that we have scheduled that could be potentially decent.
Look, the Guardians special is coming. Secret Invasion's coming. There's stuff coming. I'm not too worried about picking something that we're going to follow as a series.
No. Should this
I think we've talked about the fact that we've gotten kind of railroaded into this fucking release schedule thing, and I'd like to pick more interesting things rather than just being told by Disney what we're watching.
Yeah, no, totally.
Be a bit more proactive in the choices of the things we're discussing.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're going to watch Horseman.
Yes, and Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
Which actually, I mean, I guess maybe it's become more and more obvious, but I just was looking at the marketing going on, the way our cast and crews were being interviewed on things like Colbert and Fallon, the way Brendan Gleeson's being positioned as the person being interviewed with Colin Farrell there as like a cheeky sidekick, and Gleeson presenting SNL, it really feels like they're positioning him for that Best Actor Oscar. You know, it somebody has decided that it's Brendan Gleeson's time to be front and center.
Great, fair.
And
Why not?
I couldn't be happier for the guy, and I hope that he gets that push into sort of, you know, Ian McKellen-y national treasure status that he should have.
Oh, I think
I-
he's.
that-
Oh, Ian McKellen. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean there's a class of actor between the UK and Ireland that falls into the sort of concept of national treasure, complete and utter household name. Everyone knows who they are, whether or not they've watched.
I think
them.
he's already good there.
I think he's there in Ireland anyway.
I'm gonna be doing a tattoo of
Yeah,
him soon.
I-
So
Yeah, I love the man's work, and I think he deserves this push.
I have to brace myself every time Colin Farrell's in a new thing because I just have to listen to how my eyebrows look like his for about a week or two, and then it passes.
Oh, boo! Oh, you look like
you
a
get
movie
compared
star.
No,
to
my
the
eyebrows, my
superstar.
eyebrows, my eyebrows.
I'm gonna try and make an apple pie today.
How are you?
That's not a good segue.
Speaking of apple pie, yeah, it's not a good segue. Speaking of apple pie, American Pie came out in 1999. I was far too young to watch that movie. Why did I watch that movie?
Ah, it's grand, good stuff.
You know who's not grand?
Go on.
Tara Reid.
Oh boy, yeah, let's not. That's what I won't. Like, for those listeners interested, Tara Reid has a TikTok. For those Irish listeners, she's spending a lot of time with Jedward. I don't know why.
Very strange. Very strange.
But let people enjoy things. If she's enjoying TikTok, leave her to it. It's better than drugs.
I don't think.
I don't know that she's ever done drugs.
I don't think it's a case of it's either one or the other. Just putting that out there.
TikTok or drugs.
Yes. Well, I have TikTok.
That's the option, right? You need to hit it.
Yeah.
I've not on. You need to declare your sobriety before you can use TikTok, right?
Apparently so. Oh, I did actually pick up The Bird King, which is the new graphic novel from Crom.
Nice.
Um,
I want it.
yes,
All right.
I'm gonna go in town and see if they have it. They won't have it.
they won't have it, but maybe if you're in Dublin, Brian, you might be able to pick it up
Ron
tomorrow.
Howard voices it.
I might be in Dublin tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes.
so maybe
Yes.
I'll just wait. Yeah.
I ordered it in to Sub City, but I know that they had it.
Oh, you ordered it?
No. But the thing is, I ordered it into Sub City, but I know that they had it in Forbidden Planet, and there's one or two comic book shops around town that I'd say would potentially have it. I read the first, I think, 2 or 3 chapters on Wednesday night, and I very much enjoyed. Basically, it's I'm terrible at giving. Well, I can't really. I'm terrible at giving rundowns of books that I'm in the middle of reading of because
Synopses.
synopsises, yes. But the synopsis is basically a young blacksmith, kind of like a magical blacksmith, is basically, is the last of her kind and is forced out of her home to go on a journey. There's different wars. There's different warring nations and types of people. Sorry. There's different warring nations and types of people. I'll start again. There's different warring nations and tribes of people.
And just think of the Mulaney bit.
I know. Every time it's terrible. It's terrible. Poor Aiden. It's very good. It's very enjoyable. I recommend. I am reading it. I'm recommending it. Crom's artwork is strange and it's good.
I love his artwork.
Yes. I like
I like it a lot as well. I downloaded his Procreate brush in 2018, and
Oh, I don't have that. Where did you get that from?
his Gumtree or something. It was free at the time.
Okay, I must check it out.
Yeah,
Gumroad.
Gumroad. Sorry,
Gumroad. What's Gumtree? Oh, that's the advertising.
kind of
thing,
like
is it?
buy and
There's
sell
like
site.
a
Yeah.
Yeah.
That never really took off here, even though some people tend to use it. It's like, why? Ugh. But
Gumtree.
yeah, I wouldn't use it. But yeah, anyways, The Bird King. It's cool. It's good. I'm enjoying it. Check it out. And I did manage to pick myself for the measly sum of $3.99. I was able to get myself a copy of Declan Shalvey's Old Dog signed. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Yep. I have that. Did I read any?
How are you enjoying the story?
Hold on. Well, no, I don't think issue 2 is out yet. See, that might be next Wednesday, but which I'm looking forward to. The only other book I'm reading at the moment is Daniel Warren Johnson's Do a Powerbomb, which is a kind of out of this world wrestling caper, and it's very, very, very good. Anybody who knows Daniel Warren Johnson's work, Murder Falcon, Extremity, those type of things, really, really great. So this is really good. I would recommend people to pick up the trade after it's all out, because I've enjoyed it. So Daniel just tells. He's a guy telling stories like for the audience today. Do you know what I mean? I know that kind of sounds funny, but it's like there's good humor, there's really good drama. It always pulls on your heartstrings. Characters are, there's a lot of representation. Characters are really, really well developed, and it's great, and it's really enjoyable. His stuff is great. Have you read his stuff?
No. You keep mentioning him, and I never read it. I've kind of stopped buying comics.
Fair.
For a while now.
There's only really one comic shop in Cork now.
Okay.
There was kind of two for a while. One of them, I think it's owned by the same person. It was like a health shop and a comic shop, and they're operating like out of basically the same space. It's like there's a comic shop tacked onto a health store, and now I think all they sell is Warhammer stuff, and then just kind of Warhammer stuff, and then they've got 2 shelves of comics, and they don't even have monthly stuff anymore. It looks like they just have a couple of trades, and it looks like they're not getting any new stuff. And then there's another shop which opened a while back. I've only ever checked it out once or twice, and I went in maybe about a month ago because Ashley Wood had a new comic.
Oh yeah, I have it.
And I went in to get that, and their stock hadn't come in for the week, and the guy working there didn't even work there. He was just, I think it was his friends owns the shop, and he says, "Oh, I just watch the shop sometimes." And I was like, "So you don't really know?" And he was like, "No, I haven't a clue." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And that's it for Cork and comic books.
So look, comics are a hard thing sometimes to even
yeah, absolutely
to pursue to obtain anyways, because like I was really enjoying Minor Threat issue 1 by Patton Oswalt. I thought it was fucking awesome. Beautiful cover, variant cover by Mike Mignola. Great stuff. And I'm pretty sure issue 2 has come out already, but none of the shops in Dublin have gotten it. So I'm probably going to go there and order it specifically now, which is not ideal. But if enough people don't pick up issue 1, why would they sell issue 2? I got the 3 variant covers for that book and everything. I think it's beautiful looking. I was chuffed with the book. I thought it was great. So yeah, comics are tough. You gotta get them your pull list, and if you don't, there's a good chance you're gonna miss out on stuff you want.
I do want to get that Ross Fantastic Four.
I have it, yes.
But I need to chase it. Is it a series? Like, is it a number of books?
Oh, no. It's a single hardback.
It's a one-off. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. All the more reason why I need to get in and get it then.
It's not like it's not your normal hardback size or anything like that at all. It's like, it feels like a more of a larger annual type book,
Right. Okay. It's like an oversized, like a European format. Shit. Okay, because I was kind of half waiting until it was collected, but it's
out.
It's a standalone and it's out. Balls. Okay.
Yeah. Check out
go and get it.
Check out his YouTube channel if you're not following Alex Ross on YouTube. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like him.
I did get there's a new I think it was a one shot. I'm not too sure. I have to look into it. But there's a new. It might just be for Halloween, but it's a Marvel kind of Dark Crypt, or it's Tales from the Dark Crypt or something like that. Say, and the cover's cool. It has Moon Knight and a few characters on it. But yeah. Oh, and I picked up the new Miracle Man. Miracle Man.
It is Miracle Man, is it?
Yes, it is Miracle Man, and Miracle Man,
which is different than Mr. Miracle.
Which is different than Mr. Miracle. Yes.
Okay.
Let me just check. Now you've confused me. You've confused me, Aidan, and I do not like to be confused.
Miracle Man.
Oh, yeah, it's not. Oh, what am I talking about? It's not Mr. Miracle.
Originally known as Marvel Man.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Miracle is scot free. DC. Yeah, no. What am I thinking? With Tom King is a great graphic novel. If you've not read it, but no. So I was gonna say yes, Mr. Miracle Man was like I think Neil Gaiman did like a run of it with like DC or somebody, and then it went into mad sort of copyright and licensing issues and stuff. But Marvel have somehow obtained the character now, and the book that they've released technically is issue 3, but it's also issue 1 because they're picking up from Neil Gaiman's original run with Neil Gaiman.
Nearly 30 years later, the saga is about to resume.
Yeah.
Go away.
So I got myself the original graphic novel and issue 1, the new issue 1, because I want to give that a good read.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have anything really to contribute to this because I remember seeing this character for ages, and I know there was a. Am I wrong? Was there an Alan Moore association?
You might be wrong. You might be wrong. I don't know if he was associated with Miracle Man at one stage or not. I don't think so. But I was going to say, Miracle Man is getting a real push. I don't know if you've seen it, but like he's on every cover of every book going. Declan Shalvey did a cover for Moon Knight. I have it where it's Miracle Man and Moon Knight, on the cover of it. But Miracle Man is on the cover of Black Panther. He's on the cover of every book going. And it's just like, I always feel when you start doing stuff like this, are they like kind of like, it's just like kind of, is he going to appear in the MCU basically?
Oh, right.
Michael Fassbender, Miracle Man, MCU. Could be.
You were suggesting Sacha Baron Cohen's going to be Mephisto, Brian.
I've heard it a few places.
Yes, I've heard it too, Brian.
And at the same time, it was around the same time that there were rumors that Harrison Ford had signed on to play Ross. Which he has,
which is weird.
So,
it's a hell of a recast because we've seen Ross a number of times.
I know, but they have to recast, and God bless that poor man. He would have been a great. He was perfect for Thunderbolt Ross, but like but like what I guess like it's a pretty big honor for that guy to a degree, having someone like Harrison Ford take over his role. Really sad that guy passed away.
Yeah. I hope Harrison gives a shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of my fear with it, is that like I can see him at this point in his life taking a payday but not really giving a shit. And that is...
Where should look? Robert Redford. Yeah, he did his bit. I'm sure he'll do fine.
Yeah, but I don't think Redford's ever had the same cantankerousness about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Redford's always been a kind of a good sport about the shit that he does.
Well, I do like Redford, but like kind of what Han Solo or Harrison Ford, he wasn't keen on Solo, but he loves Indiana Jones. He fucking adores that character.
He hates fandom.
Yeah, well,
that's what it seems to be. He just doesn't want to get caught up in fandom. He wants to do his own, which is fair enough. But like, it's just, I don't know. I can understand frustration with fandom. But
he's never shied away from it. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, the Tom Clancy books.
He has in how he's engaged with it.
Okay.
He's not shied away from properties that make him money.
Yeah.
But he has shied away from engaging with fandom. And you just see, I don't know. It's frustration, it's exhaustion, it's doing it a long time. Like, I feel like other actors deflect silly nerd questions that they've had a billion times, and he just, at this point, just goes, I don't give a shit. And
yeah.
it kind of comes off bad.
Well, sure, look, he's only an actor playing these roles. Who cares about, like, not in a bad way, but like, who cares about his opinion about the characters? You know what I mean? Like, as long as he's showing up and doing his job, and I feel like he's done enough in the movie. That's what it's at.
Sure. I do think it's funny as well, though, that like there's an old letter from Alec Guinness when working on Star Wars, talking about the sort of the exuberance of the cast, and he's a little kind of dismissive of a whole whack of young people. But there is a point where he's just like, I do sort of get on with this rangy fella called Ford. Can't be Ford, can it? That's too American. Like, he's kind of thinks out the process. His name can't be Ford, right? Like, he's trying to remember who the guy is, but he's like,
That's hilarious.
he's kind of going, this cantankerous bastard is as cantankerous as I am. We get on. Because Guinness as well got sick to death of the Star Wars thing and
I understand, man. It's gotta
famously
be.
said something dicky to a kid.
It's gotta be tough, you know.
Yeah, Mephisto in Ironheart, because the villain is the Hood.
Yes, Brian.
So
The Hood.
the Hood has to get their powers from
Somewhere.
something magical, and what I'm reading is that it's Mephisto and that it's Cohen playing the character.
Well, he'd be absolutely perfect for Mephisto.
It would-
You know, for sure. And then who was the? Oh yeah, we were. Oh yes, and Wonder Man is going to be. No, I can't pronounce his name.
well, no,
Do you not think so?
not. He's in talks apparently, but a load. I think a few people were. So, but yeah, Abdul Mateen.
Yes, yeah. Well, I really like him. So I
Third. He's great.
yes, I really like him. I was just saying, I really like him, and you know,
What would I know him from?
Black Manta in Aquaman, the protagonist in Candyman. Just he's a really.
He was
cool-
great in. He was great in Aquaman. I remember thinking that character was
Watchmen.
completely wasted.
And
I
Watchmen.
was going to say he was Doctor Manhattan.
was,
he?
Manhattan.
That was going to be my question.
He's great.
Yeah, he's class.
Yes.
Okay, can't wait.
So yeah, so
More of him, please.
he'd be a great Wonder Man for sure. The only thing is, like, I know, and like I like Wonder Man. Don't get me wrong. I have like some of his more key issues and stuff. But is he not a bit of a too good an actor for someone like Wonder Man?
Well, I mean, Wonder Man is what you make
He's
him.
playing. Yeah.
You know, like Wonder Man's always been a bit. There's been many versions of Wonder Man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
you know,
guess-
is he playing the red overcoat version, or is he playing the
safari
spandex
jacket.
version? Is he playing the ghost of Wonder Man that is manifested through the Vision? Like, there's a number of weird. No, I think it's Wanda was able to manifest her dead husband Wonder Man at a certain point when she needed help. She would like Captain Planet his ass into existence. He would beat something up and then cease existing. Like Wonder
Like a
Man's
Pokemon.
been through a wild
Been through the ringer.
range
yeah.
of.
He's been through the ringer.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those Marvel characters that sort of sits in sort of this place of like possibility. We've tried a number of things with him. Pick one of them and make it kind of the core thing at this point, which
Well-
is what they've done with Moon Knight.
The only thing is,
I read as well that. Sorry, go on.
well, I was just going to say, the only thing is, like, a part of me, like, and it's kind of selfish. A part of me wants that guy to be Wonder Man because I'm sure it would be fucking like awesome and blow up, But because obviously I have a few of the books, but I get like,
Are you speculating on your collection value? Is it?
completely.
yeah, of course, man. I've gone out of my way to buy.
I want a house.
He doesn't like.
I've gone out of
comics.
my way to buy obscure 90s fucking number ones and first appearances and all this kind of stuff from random characters over the years that I'm just waiting for one of them just to hit fucking gold.
Right.
And then never sell it and then piss Emer off more. Why do you tell me, why do you speculate and tell me how much they're worth if you're never going to sell them?
Yeah. Why is this shit taking up my spare room if
Yeah,
it's
exactly. But Brian, you were going to say something there then?
the Beanie Baby
I
collection's
was
going
reading
well?
as well that Adam Driver has been in, or apparently has been in talks for both Reed and Doom.
Oh.
He'd be a good Doom. He'd be a good Doom.
He could do both, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, for sure.
He could be good
Yeah,
at both.
yeah. Interesting.
I'm curious to see, will they get actors of
Caliber.
that caliber, or are they going to go with really kind of new up and comers?
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to see
Yep. I really thought for
what they're going to go with.
yeah,
I think it has to be a balance. Like the thing that worked, or the thing that was like, what really worked with Marvel was, you remember the feeling when they made Iron Man, and we were like, okay, Jon Favreau hasn't done a lot, but like, it's come
in
from a
good
place
hands.
of critical acclaim. It's good hands. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing. Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Jeff Bridges is great. Like the cast they put in it, you're like, wow, they're actually casting big on this. And then when Thor came along, it's like, hey, Kenneth Branagh. It's like part of what made us give a shit was that they went out of their way to get people with, I guess, clout.
On that subject,
Clout.
have you guys have you checked in on Terrence Howard news lately?
Terrence Howard, as in Ron
Is
Howard's
he the one that
ugly
invented
brother.
the new math?
No, as in what?
Ron Howard's ugly brother.
No. Rhodey Martin.
Oh no, Howard, no. What's
Is he well?
doing?
He invented a new maths, as Aiden said.
Okay, I've heard about
It
this.
essentially boils down to that 1 multiplied by 1 has to be 2. It has to. And he's written a proof for it and everything. Proof. He's lost his mind. He's like... I went down a bit of a rabbit hole reading stuff about like claims, and he's selling some...
Is there any chance we're
bullshit
wrong?
energy thing.
And he's correct.
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
Have we checked the
One
maths?
times what I get where his brain
Yeah.
is tripping up.
Yeah.
I get it.
1 is 1.
But one, like literally semantically.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
grammatically, 1
Is
is
1.
Yeah, like-
two
He's like,
ones.
but
two.
if 2 times 2 is this like
Yeah.
he's making a small but crucial error.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless him. He's probably not well.
But he
That he's
firmly
building his
believes-
understanding of the world around it, is he?
Oh, he's a piece of shit, Kev. He's known. He's assaulted multiple.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not a good person.
Yeah, but I don't understand though how he doesn't.
So I read.
Yeah, so no, allegedly, yeah, but I know he was problematic and stuff in the past, particularly why he was removed from Iron Man and stuff. Just in terms of like his decisions in his career.
Well, that was probably racism,
Oh,
largely.
on Disney's half.
His racism because they replaced him with Don Cheadle.
No. Perlmutter, the Ike Perlmutter at the time, didn't want to pay him. Didn't think he was worth.
The money
And he was like, "Who's going to notice if we just hire
won't.
another?"
Oh, God,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, that's what Perlmutter has.
Well-
This is the same guy that didn't want to sell toys of Black Widow because he was like, "Who'd buy this stuff?" So, known piece of shit, Ike
Yes, he's gone now, isn't he? He's gone.
Perlmutter. He's still there. He's just not overseeing
But I was gonna,
Kevin's Feige
I
stuff.
was gonna say,
Was he the one that did the TV stuff?
no, that's Avi Arad.
No, it was Jeff Loeb. He was basically just overseeing Feige, and then they created a new division that Feige was left in charge of.
But
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, but like the one by it's how does he not like I know what you're saying about how he's tripped up because it's like it's 1 by 1, so he's trying to say that there's 2 ones there, and if you buy them it's 2, but it's like no, it's 1 of this is 1, 2 of this
Okay,
is
so let's
4.
let's sidestep this for a second because I know I mentioned the new math thing, and we've
Teriology.
we've latched onto that. But Brian's question was, are we keeping up with Terrence Howard? Is there any new news? Because I heard that new maths thing a while ago.
Oh, he
What's brought it to your attention this week?
He I think it was last week maybe, or somewhere between last week and now, he claimed that Robert Downey Jr. owed him $125 million or something, but he's like, but I'm letting it slide, and it's just like, it's wild. He said he's called him a lot, and Robert hasn't returned his calls, but he's called him a lot because he owes him money, and he's like, but I'm just going to let it slide because I don't need it. It's like, okay.
That was big of him.
Okay. It's very big of him.
Yeah, I mean, to let that much money go, that's pretty decent.
Well, look, when you know how maths really works, and when
You realize that
1 times
250
1.
million is actually 0.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Bear in the end, Brian?
I did.
Did you enjoy it? You did enjoy it,
Yeah,
correct?
it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, last week somebody said, but I think Brian or Aiden said it, but somebody said to Aiden, or one or the other. But somebody said that they likened it to Firefly in terms of a crew and a ship because like it's so insular in terms of a crew in the kitchen. And I kind of can't get that out of my head because it's very, very true.
Well, it's basically any drama.
Yeah.
Just get a ragtag group of
Yeah,
people
especially
that don't quite get
yeah,
along.
especially keep them in a confined space. You know.
The only kind of, not even criticism, but a kind of negative observation that I could kind of make about it, and I don't get it. I've watched it like twice now, I think, but it uses New Noise by Refused in the first episode. Do you know that track?
Is it the bit where the delivery's wrong at the start? Like dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 yeah.
And it just builds and builds. And then it cuts to a completely different piece of music, and it doesn't mix them. It doesn't blend them in any way, and it does it every time it uses the track. It goes from... It's really jarring to me. Maybe it's less jarring if you don't know the song as well. But yeah, it's this really tense song. It's got this kind of really agitated build up, and then it cuts to just an entirely different, not even a different piece of music, but like a completely different mood and vibe.
Right.
And it makes no effort to mix the two at all, and it does it, I think, at least twice. And
Yeah, they use it in the
really
opening
strange.
and then they use
I
it
was
at
just
the
like,
end
what?
where he's confronted with the same kind of situation where he has to adjust, but in the second one he's kind of
Yeah.
broken. And it doesn't lead to pro-action. It leads to sort of, panic?
Shutdown.
Yeah. I don't want another season of that. I think we've all watched it now. It's like, grand, let's leave it. I don't want to see him struggle to run his new...
I was surprised that they did such a resolute ending.
Yeah,
you know?
it ends. Like we can just go, and then he opened his restaurant and he's happy.
And they all live.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to see more because I'm assuming that they have more.
Yeah, I mean, again, Oliver Platt still wants his money back.
Great to see.
You know,
him.
just because...
Why was his brother? Why was his brother doing what he did? I won't spoil it, but why was he doing that in the first place?
all of the questions, like why not just get a fucking loan, or why not tell your brother that you've squirreled away whatever you've done, or like it's very vague, in the sort of rationale behind some of these things, but I could happily leave that there and just go, that was such a cool journey.
Fair.
Let my head imagine what this would be. I don't need to see him string it out for 3 seasons.
I don't think they will though.
I hope not.
Barry's going to end with the next season.
Good. Again, finite things are good things.
The way they were talking when the third season ended, it sounded like that they had a good bit of story left. But apparently they're ending it with this season, so that's cool.
Of Barry?
Barry.
Okay.
I remember Hader likened it to, reading a true crime article in Vanity Fair, and you're kind of, when you think the story's ending, it's only just about to get crazier. So it seemed like he'd got at least 2 kind of seasons of, because they're short seasons anyway. It seemed like he was alluding to that. There's at least 2 kind of more major things.
Yeah, you kind of talked about this article before.
So I was kind of surprised to. Yeah, he said in an interview that he feels like it's at that moment in the story where you think it's over, you think it can't get any crazier, and then so many more crazy things happen. And I kind of, maybe I misinterpreted it, but I kind of thought that he was saying that there's at least 2, maybe 3 seasons left in this. But apparently 1. So I don't know what changed, or I don't know if that was always the intention, or if it was just something that maybe was kind of got taken out of context. But it's a great show, and I look forward to it. And Atlanta is in its final season at the moment, but probably won't get added to Disney Plus until next year, I'd imagine, if they kind of go at the same pace.
Yeah, the that one feels like though the cast and crew just want to do other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, have you watched The Old Man yet?
No. No, I have not. To be fair, though, it's been a little bit hectic these days. But I have not.
Me too.
Even the few bits and pieces I am watching them kind of while it's working and doing things. So,
I'm still going to have to give you 2 demerits, though. I'm sorry.
to me, yes, that's fair.
2 demerits. Yeah. Just, yeah. That's not each. That's
just.
It's not 1 each.
That's
It's 2
just
each.
2 each. 2 for me and 2 for Aiden.
2 each. Yeah.
Well,
I don't like doing it, but I think it's fair.
You're right. It's fair. I still haven't watched it. You said you were keen on a house this week, Kevin. How's that going?
I don't want to talk about it.
Didn't work out.
I don't want to talk about it.
Fair enough.
I'm terrified to say anything in case I get jinxed. So I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
You can't get jinxed.
But I guess
You don't have to talk about it,
Yeah.
but you can't get jinxed.
But the thing is, it's still in the air, and you don't want to jinx it. Got it.
Yes,
That's what I'm getting at. Was there a resolution to it, or is it still in the air? It's still in the air.
it's still in the air.
He doesn't want to talk about it, Aiden.
Let's talk about it some more. The housing crisis.
Demerit.
What?
Demerit.
That's
How many
3.
demerits do I?
That's 3 for you.
Yeah. There's
What,
3
you fucking
for you.
Terrence Howard all of a sudden you can't count? It's 3, motherfucker.